Hello and welcome to episode 20 of the Little Dynamite Knits podcast. My name is Sarah and I live outside of Philadelphia with my husband Brent and our three cats, Gustav. Did I just forget his name for a moment? Gustav, Gracie, and Gertie. Today is Tuesday, May 12th, and it has been just over a month since my last episode. Actually, all three cats are here on the first floor in my office with me today because there's a smoke detector up on the third floor that is beeping. And I cannot fix that without Brent. It involves a ladder, and that's not a solo job in this house. But the cats are a little freaked out by it. So they've been really close by all day. Who knows, they may make an appearance. Gustav's right over there. Gracie's here on the windowsill. Gertie might be in the instrument room nook, but we'll see. So today I have a half and half episode. We're going to do the normal updates, and then we're going to do a little recap of my time down in Maryland for Yarn Centric and Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival. So before we get into that, let's do some quick life updates. What has been going on? So it was feeling like spring. It's not today. That's why I'm in my favorite hoodie ever. But hopefully it'll start to feel more like spring again soon. Things have been, going. I went up to New York City for a night to see two shows. I went to see Just in Time with Matthew Morrison and Isa Briones from the Pit. And then I saw the new Cats Jellicle Ball, which was so good. So that was awesome. We've been to 2 Phillies games so far this season. It looks like they're starting to remember how to play baseball now. They did fire Rob Thompson. I don't think that was really the problem, but if they're winning, I'll take it. So let's see. Other than that, I spent a day in Harrisburg meeting with Pennsylvania lawmakers last week for work. It was interesting. Let's see. We were supposed to go see Bruce Springsteen last week, but it was rescheduled because the Sixers or the Flyers, one of those teams, had a home game in the playoffs the night of the concert. I'm like, why would you schedule it if there was ever a chance that could happen? And the reason I'm really bummed is that they rescheduled it to the same weekend that my school has prom and graduation. So we had to get our tickets refunded for Springsteen, which sucks. But this week, don't know what just happened with my voice. This week, we're going to see The Head and the Heart tomorrow. Tomorrow, Wednesday night, we're going to see The Head and the Heart. And then on Thursday, I'm being inducted into my high school's Performing Arts Hall of Fame. For those that don't know, I am a violist and a violinist, but primarily a violist now at this point. I was a music teacher, specifically an orchestra director for the first 18 years of my career. And I was very involved in music when I was in high school. So it's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty cool to get this recognition. I'm not thrilled to be going back to my high school, but we'll make an exception. And then Friday night, we're going to see Fortune Feimster. So it's going to be a really fun week, really busy week, but I took PTO days on Thursday and Friday. So tomorrow is the last day of my work week, which is awesome. So for updates today, I have 2 FOs. I have 3 knitting whips. I have 1 spinning whip. I'm going to announce a giveaway winner, and then we'll get into Maryland. Okay, we're back. I think we're good. Hope we're good. The giveaway winner is on my phone, which is what I'm recording on. I'm a mess today. Okay, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Several months ago, I said I would do a giveaway if I got to 200 subscribers, and it happened. Actually, now I'm at 200, almost 300, so maybe we'll do another giveaway, but I said I would send this lovely yarn to a winner from the comments on that episode. So again, up here, put the winner. If this is your YouTube username, please reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram, little_dynamite. You can send me a message on Ravelry. I'm just little dynamite without the underscore there. And if neither of those work for you, just leave a comment below and we'll figure something else out. All right, so let's talk finished objects. The first one is very exciting because it's gorgeous. This is the Early Light Pullover. This is a pattern by Samantha Guerin that I had the great pleasure of test knitting. It is now available. You can get it. I made mine in the yarn called for in the pattern, which is Amy Sher Makes Comfort Silk Linen. It is a blend of 50% merino, 25% mulberry silk. It's definitely silk. And 25% linen. It is one of my new favorite bases to both work with and to wear next to skin. This is the color Forget Me Not. And it is a round yoke that begins with this lovely lace pattern. And then I did mine with 3/4 length sleeves. I have not woven in the ends yet. And you may also notice this is a very wide neckline. I've started to, when I knit my garments, block them before I finish the neck. And the reason for that is I hate having things close to my neck. That's why I'm always wearing V-necks. That is my preferred neckline. But this is a round yoke and then you pick up for ribbing. So I wanted to see how it blocked and laid on my body first before then deciding how many rows of ribbing I want to do, or if I even wanted to do ribbing, because I debated doing a rolled edge or an I-cord, but it's pretty wide open, so I am going to do some ribbing to bring it in a little bit. So when this is like fully finished, I will wear it on a future episode, but I just love it so much. It's beautiful. Let's do the pose for the thumbnail. Okay. Second FO is a pair of socks. I am calling these my fake Fair Isle socks. This is yarn from Regia, and I have the label here somewhere. Where'd it go? Maybe it fell out. Well, I had the label here. Fair Isle Socks, where are you? Guys, we are on a roll. Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is the yarn. This is the design line by Arn and Carlos. This is the 4-ply version. I do have another ball of this. I thought it was the same exact thing, but it is a 6-ply and a little heavier. And I think I'm going to make Brent a pair of socks with those. But here is one of the socks. I did finish both. They are blocked and ready to go. I did my usual, so Turkish cast-on. This is my basic sock formula. I do a Turkish cast-on with 16 stitches on each needle, increase to 64. I did 80 foot rounds for these. And then I do a gusset and heel flap. So the reverse of a heel flap and gusset. You don't have to pick up any stitches. I did 60 leg rounds, and then I did 10 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. So these were super fun to work on. I did do some yarn management. I wound off some of the yarn so that I could start the second sock in about the same spot. So they are pretty close to symmetrical. I did not break the yarn or do anything special for the heel. I really wasn't concerned with how the pattern was affected by the heel. Just wanted an easy sock project. And yeah, these were really fun. So those are my finished objects for the week. So let's go on to whips. So my new sock project, because I try to always have a sock project on the needles at all times. This is a sock set I purchased at Fiber Festival of New England back in the fall of 2025. It is from Freya Fine Hand Paints, and it is this beautiful gradient. This colorway is called Woodsman. And they dye the yarn and then they wind it into two identical balls. So I actually unwound. I was having a hard time. I wanted to do a center pull, but I was having a hard time finding the end. And I wanted to start with the light blue. So if you look here, it's the light blue is on the bottom of the sock. I wanted the light blue at the top, at the cuff, and then go down to this reddish color. I am using a pattern I've never done before. When you buy this yarn, you can scan a QR code and get a free sock pattern. It's called the Solemate Sock pattern. And there is a designer. The designer's name is Tina Whitmore. So it is a cuff down sock, which I never do, but I really like how the heel on this sock, it's not an afterthought heel. I really don't know what kind of heel it is, but it doesn't interrupt that ombre, that like gradient effect. So I'm giving it a try. So here's what I have so far in the first sock. It is 30 rounds of 1x1 ribbing to start. And then you go into this sort of ribbing pattern, but it's like there are groups of 3 knit stitches all around. So I'm this far on the first sock, and we'll see what this heel is all about. I have a feeling this will be a once and done, unless I buy more of this yarn, because I just love my toe up socks so much. This project is in this super cute bag from Barley Pearls. Barley Pearls, I think, is the name. And I love it. It's so cute. Next up, in my adorable Cats in Sweaters pouch from Tanny Casey, I have another test knit for Samantha Guerin. So let's find my project notes. So this pattern is called the Half Pint Scarf. It includes 2 versions. There's a 1/4 pint scarf and there's a 1/2 pint scarf. So I'm doing the 1/2 pint, the longer one. And I decided to use hand spun for this. So this is officially my first ever project made with my own hand spun. So here's the yarn caked up, and this is a 2-ply I did from a braid of fiber from Jess of Witchfire Fibers. The colorway is called Dry Dock. I have several skeins of Dry Dock in yarn form, so it was really interesting to see how it spun up from fiber. And here's what I have so far. So it is a long, skinny scarf, and I am just loving the colors. It has this really cool diagonal stitch pattern, I am about, let's see. Yeah, I definitely wanted a little bit longer than that because I would want to wear it kind of like tied over once. So we're going to keep going. But it's just so satisfying to make something with yarn that I spun. And then I have this awesome Progress Keeper from Hello Lavender. It is a reference to The Bear, the TV show. So this will probably be done soon. It is a super fun pattern. It's a quick knit. It's an easy to memorize row repeat. And unless you're like volunteering at a fiber festival and talking to a bunch of people, ask me how I know. All right. And my final whip is another pattern by Samantha Guerin. This is the Samantha Guerin episode. So this is just in this fun pouch I got from Yarnaceous Fibers. And this pattern is called the Summer Session Tank. And actually, let me pull up a photo of it. Rabbit. Okay. So it is a $9 pattern. And it is just this beautiful tank top with all that lacy detail and a V-neck, which I love. I've been wanting to make this since last summer, I think. And so I got the yarn for it at a Woolen Affair in October of 2025. So Allie of Exploring Knits and Fibers was there vending, and she has a base called Linen Sock, and it is 80% non-superwash merino, 20% linen. And it has 437 yards. I got the colorway Forest Floor, which, forgive my messy center pull, looks like that. And it's going to be hard to show you where I am in this, but I don't know how this is going to fit me. We're going with a lot of faith here. So this is the back, and then this is the left shoulder coming down to the front. I have no idea how this is going to fit me, but this comes, hold on. This comes down and goes under. Okay, actually, because then you add some ribbing and it'll widen up, but it's actually going under my arm nicely. Trust the process. So that's where I am on that. I think now I'm gonna break this yarn, put these stitches on hold, and then go and do the right side. So hopefully then it'll start to make more sense. The pattern makes sense, but it'll look more like a garment then. I will say the pattern is very well written, but it requires concentration. I have so far had to tink back in 2 different sections. Ugh. And the first time was because I thought I made a mistake. Did I make a mistake? I don't remember what happened the first time, but the second time I thought I made a mistake because my stitch count wasn't lining up. So I didn't rip back, I unknit, I tinked back 6 rows, and then realized I didn't make a mistake. I just was misreading every other line of the pattern because increases were happening on every row, not every other row. And so I wasn't keeping track of those increases properly. So I was following the pattern correctly, but I wasn't marking my progress correctly. So I basically took out 6 rows and then just redid them the same exact way, but with accurate record keeping. So it's a well-written pattern. I I told Brent last night, he's like, what do you want to watch? And I said, it can't be anything new. It can't be anything requiring concentration. So we ended up watching, rewatching Silver Linings Playbook. So, okay. My last whip is a spinning whip. So, Lauren of Little Fiber Co., Philadelphia area-based dyer, she did an advent last year called Gaudy and Glittering, and it is a gorgeous rainbow gradient. So the advent box was 8 individual boxes of 1 ounce bumps of fiber. So I am spinning this as a 3-ply, and I am borrowing from Erin of Carbon and String. She does a lot of spinning with Little Fiber Co.'s fiber, and she did a gorgeous 3-ply. So I have 2 of the singles done already, and they're already on my Lazy Kate, so I'll just hold them up like this. So this is the first bobbin, the first single, and this is just a third of each little bump spun end to end, days 1 through 8. So the dark green is day 8. You can't see day 1. It is a yellow that's underneath here. The second bobbin, oh my gosh, that's so fun. So this is, again, a third of each 1 ounce bump of fiber. But then that third was split in half. So for this one, I did days 1 to 8 and then 8 to 1. Yes. Again, can't take credit for this idea. I'm just doing what someone else did because I loved their results. For the third single, it is on my wheel right now, and I'm not going to get up to go get it. It is the final third of each 1 ounce bump, but then that third separated like string cheese into 4 pieces. So we're getting very, very thin. Basically, I have this box of, it's like, look how fun that is. I'm basically spinning pencil roving at this point, but I took them all and I just very, very loosely tied them together so I didn't have to worry about matching end to end. I can just kind of grab and untie as I spin. And so I'm just working through these, and then I'll have that third bobbin done, and then I can ply them all together. So the fiber is 100% Rambouillet. Again, not my favorite fiber to spin, I am realizing. But the resulting yarn is nice. I actually had a conversation with the folks at Into the World when I was at Sheep and Wool about spinning Rambouillet and how I sometimes struggle with it. And it was nice to learn that that apparently is not uncommon, but people love the end result, so they like put up with it. And you may be watching this thinking Rambouillet is like the easiest fiber to spin. Maybe it is, but not for me. So, all right. Oh my gosh, that's everything. Okay, so now we've reached the portion of the episode where we're going to talk about Yarn Centric and Maryland Sheep and Wool. So I drove down to Maryland after work on Thursday, I think that April 30th. And I had a hotel booked very close to where Yarn Centric is held. It's at the Arc on Market Street. And so I usually just stay in one of the Marriotts that are not far away. So I had purchased a ticket for the first time, which was 9 to 11, but I was also a volunteer, which meant you didn't have to buy a ticket, but I had already bought my ticket, and I'm happy to support that event. So I got there probably around 10, maybe. I didn't get there right at 9. So I got there around 10 and just did an initial lap, said hi to some people. So Kim of Newburgh Yarn Co., Shayla, and Heather of Charm City Unicorns, who were both in the Black Pearl Magic booth. Yan was there from Forever Yarn in Doylestown. Tanny Casey was there. Trisha of Yarn Jam was there. Terrapin Fiber Works was there. 29 Bridges. And Rachel and Renee of Table 10 Podcast. So I did a lot of chatting and saying hi to folks. Finally met Taji in person of Tangles in Starlight or Stitches in Starlight, depending on where you watch them or follow them. And so I didn't do all my shopping in that first hour that I was there. I kind of made my purchases very slowly throughout the day. But after my shopping time, I had a little bit of a break, and then my volunteer shift started. And this year I had 2 shifts, but usually I just go down. This was my second year volunteering, and I love the people who volunteer. I've made friends with them, and they're great people. Shout out to Suzanne and Amanda and Elizabeth and Shannon and so many people. But usually I'll do my volunteer shift and then I just end up staying the whole day. So it's what I did again this year. And so my purchases at Yarn Centric. So I got this adorable little pouch from Shayla of Black Pearl Magic. And I love the rainbow like effect of the zipper, and then there's a little star and a Black Pearl Magic, and I have one of these already. It's clear yellow, and I love it as a notions pouch, so I got another one. And then I of course had to visit the Camp Stitchwood booth and get my Yarn Centric badge for this year. And then I also got these cute little cozy fall stickers. And I got another sticker, but it is a gift for a friend, so I'm not going to share that here. I got 1 braid of fiber from Yarn Jam. This is 100% natural Shanico, which is my favorite fiber to spin in my short time as a spinner. And the colorway is Blue Ridge Mountains. So pretty. And then I purchased 1 sweater quantity of yarn for myself. So this is from Terrapin Fiber Works. I wanted to go squish all of her samples and try out a 100% protein-free base for a summer garment. And so this is her Sandy Point Sport base. It is 100% organic Pima cotton, 328 yards. The colorway is Isle Royale. And so I got 4 of those to make a t-shirt of some sort. So those were all of my Yarn Centric purchases. And then Mike from 29 Bridges was super sweet and made these fun notion tins for the volunteers. And there's a couple Yarn Centric stitch markers in there. So thank you, Mike. That was very cool of you. And you're just cool. Mary and Mike are both just awesome. It's a great event. I love Yarn Centric so much. So after that, I went back to the hotel for a little bit, but then Kim of Newburgh Yarn Co., we had talked about maybe going out to dinner, so I sent her a text to check in with her, and she was not too exhausted from, tearing down her booth, and so we met up for dinner. I'll put some photos here. She said, where do you want to eat, or what are you in the mood for? I said, I don't care, I just want a beer. So I had my first Deschutes Fresh Squeezed IPA of the spring. Love that beer. And I had a really good burger. And a lovely time talking to Kim. Oh my gosh. Had the best time ever with her. And then I went back to my hotel and got in bed. So the next day, Saturday, day 1 of Maryland Sheep and Wool. I don't remember what time I woke up, but I took a very long time to get ready and get going. I think I watched like half of Fiber Hustle's last episode while I was getting ready. Just couldn't get myself going. So I think I arrived at the fairgrounds around, it was pushing noon at that point. And it was about a half-hour drive from where I was staying in Frederick. I was able to park in the handicap parking area because I have a placard because of my back. So it's really convenient. It's right near the entrance, and that is a game changer for me because the parking situation there is it's I don't know how to describe it. I don't know why it seems so much worse than it is at Rhinebeck, but once they fill up like the field closest to the fairgrounds, then everyone has to park across the street. And I just can't do that with my back. So thankfully, I was able to park nice and close. So I got there. My first stop was Hall and Hoof because I wanted buttons for a specific project. So, this is convenient. I, maybe about a month or two ago, ordered yarn from Frankie Gray Fibers to make a Frost Lines cardigan, which is a more recent pattern from Andrea Mowry. And I got it on their alpaca cloud base, which is a baby Surrey and Peruvian cotton base. It's one of those blown yarns. So it actually has 328 yards in it. And I'm using this dark black cherry as the main color, and then sage and blush for the stripes. And so I wanted buttons in one of these two colors, or as close as I could get. And this is actually the first time I'm looking at the buttons with the yarn to see how close I got. Shut up. These are the buttons I got. And look at that. Oh my God. They're a little bit lighter, but that's gonna look so good. And it's gonna pop against this black cherry. No, I cannot wait to make this project. So, I love them. All right, we're calling that a success. Oh, I bought 2 braids of fiber at Yarn Centric. Whoops. I also got this from Kira Wiggins. This was the special show colorway, Nirvana. I think I'm going to spin it with another Kira Wiggins braid I have. But this is 50% BFL, 25% baby alpaca, and 25% rose. So, all right. So fairgrounds, got my buttons, just was walking around. I got a corn dog and a lemonade and did the main exhibit hall. Got my soap from, I think it's Breezy Willow Farm. I always get soap from them. That's already upstairs in the bathroom. Did I buy anything else in the main hall? I don't think I did. Oh, nope, that's wrong. I did get a braid of fiber from Into the World. So this is the colorway Choreography and Merriment, which is pretty fantastic. And this is BFL. And I actually think that this and this might be fun to apply together, or are they too similar? I don't know. We'll see. And then my last purchase is a sweater quantity for Brent. And that's what takes up the bulk of this bag. So I went to see Kate and Michael of Upland Fiber Co. and did some damage. I want to make Brent an old fashioned, which is a pattern by Maxim Cyr. And I knew I wanted to make it in Upland Fiber Co. yarn. So I sent Brent a photo of the core worsted, the wall of all the colors of the core worsted, and said, do you like any of these? And he really liked, it's this yellow, almost like a goldenrod color. I don't remember the name of it, but they only had 5 skeins of it. And so then I just started showing him kind of everything in the booth, giving him different options. And finally he said, can you FaceTime me? And Kate, and if you don't know Kate, she works for Upland Fiber Co., but is also a part of the Knitting Posse podcast. She was like, let me be his personal shopper. So I FaceTimed Brent, introduced him to Kate and Michael. Have I been saying Kim this whole time? Kate, not Kim. So had Brent on FaceTime, and with Kim, we picked out, it's really good. This is their newest base. It's called Polypaca Worsted. It is 50% American polypay and 50% American alpaca. It is a worsted weight yarn, 220 yards per 100 grams. It is a 3-ply semi-worsted spun yarn. If you're not familiar with Upland Fiber Co., it is all made in the Northeast U.S., from farming to shearing to scouring to milling to dyeing, although this yarn is not dyed. This is a natural color from the sheep. This colorway is called Pint, P-E-A-T. I bought 9 of these. And there, get in there close. Oh, it is gorgeous in every way. It is beautiful to look at. It is beautiful to touch. When I put one of these skeins in Brent's hands when I got home, he said, this is mine now. And I said, yes, it is, but you have to wait for it so that I can actually knit it into a garment. So I got, all untold, I got a sweater quantity for me, a sweater quantity for Brent, and 3 braids of fiber. And some buttons. So I'm very proud of my shopping this year. Pretty much now when I buy yarn, it is for garment knitting. I actually have amassed quite a stash of sweater quantities, which I want to do an episode about soon. But so that's it for that's it for acquisitions. I did spend a little bit more time at the fairgrounds. I ran into Taji, so I got to talk to them for a little bit, and then saw Rachel and Renee again. And at that point, I had been debating maybe trying to find a place to stay Saturday night and then going back on Sunday. But I was beat, and I'd really love to have a Sunday at home to kind of reset before the new work week. So I decided to head home on Saturday. So I said goodbye to Rachel and Renee and went and got my cinnamon roll, my yearly cinnamon roll, and made the drive home. So that's that. We're going to see if we can keep this episode below 40 minutes. So if you're new here and you watched because of whatever reason you came, thank you for giving me a chance and sticking around if you're still here at the end of the episode. If you are a returning viewer or a subscriber or just a friend, thank you so much for being here and helping me create this cozy little space on the interwebs where I can talk about these things that I love so much. I hope that you're all doing well. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of each other, and just keep going. I will hopefully be back in less than a month with my next episode, and I will talk to you then. Bye, everyone.